All right, join me in page 282 in your science textbook. Follow along. This is chapter 5, lesson 2. How do scientists study Earth's structure? Scientists study features on Earth's surface to determine how and when these surfaces were formed. They are not able to dig holes deep enough to see what goes on in the center of the planet with their own eyes. How do you suppose they are able to understand the forces that create these surface features? Continuing on page 283, waves. One way scientists learn about Earth's interior and its structure is by studying seismic waves. A seismic wave is a vibration that travels through Earth. Seismic waves are produced by earthquakes and volcanic eruptions. Sometimes explosions can also cause seismic waves. There are two main kinds of seismic waves: Earth surface waves and body waves. Each kind vibrates and travels in a different way and at different speeds. Waves that are trapped near the surface of Earth are called surface waves. Surface waves move more slowly than body waves. They travel along the surface of the planet like ripples on the surface of a pond. Waves that travel through the interior of Earth are called body waves. There are two kinds of body waves. P waves, also called primary waves, are the fastest seismic waves. They travel through gases, liquids, and solids. P waves travel by pushing and pulling against the material they pass through. When the waves push, they compress or bunch the material together. When they pull, they stretch or expand the material. This pushing and pulling causes the material the wave is moving through to vibrate forward and backward in the same direction in which the waves are moving. S waves, or secondary waves, are much slower than P waves. They travel only through solids. They vibrate at a right angle to their direction of travel. This means that if an S wave is moving ahead, the vibrations will move either up and down or from side to side. This causes the material that the wave is passing through to shake up and down or from side to side. Instruments on Earth's surface record these movements or vibrations. By studying these waves, scientists learn about the different layers of Earth. Okay, turning the page to page 284, follow along. What are the main layers of Earth? By studying seismic waves, scientists have learned that Earth has three main layers. Each layer has a different composition, thickness, temperature, and density. Density is a measure of how much material there is in a given amount of space. Materials with lower densities often float in water, and materials with higher densities often sink in water. To observe this, try the quick lab on the next page. Layers. The crust is the thin layer of solid rock that makes up the outermost part of Earth. The thickness of the crust varies from place to place. Earth's crust is very thin. To picture how thin it is, think about the skin of an apple compared to the rest of the apple. Almost all of the natural resources people use are found within this thin crust. It is the layer on which people walk, build buildings, and grow crops. Okay, let's look at that diagram on page 284 at the bottom. Which points to the different layers, similarly to how the picture on your screen showing the different layers. So first is the crust. Thin, rigid crust surrounds Earth. Then the mantle. The mantle is less dense near the crust and denser near the core. As you go down, it becomes more dense. Okay, the outer core. Lower pressure allows the outer core to remain liquid. And then the inner core. Intense pressure makes the inner core a solid ball about 2,400 kilometers in diameter. And this shows the thickness. In the book, it talks about the diameter. Okay, continuing in your text on page 285. The mantle is the thick layer of solid and molten rock that lies beneath the crust. While the entire mantle is made of rock, Some of the rock in this layer can move or flow slowly because of great pressure and high temperatures. The core is the central part of Earth. It lies beneath the mantle and is made up of an outer liquid part and an inner solid part. Earth's core is made of iron and nickel, metals that are denser than rock. The core is almost twice as dense as the mantle. The core is a sphere, and the distance across it through Earth's center is about 6,900 kilometers or 4,300 miles. Pressure and temperature. Suppose you can move through Earth's layers to the core. As you move deeper, pressure would increase. The weight of the material above you would cause this increase in pressure. The temperature would also increase as you traveled deeper into Earth. We're going to stop there for today, and we'll continue on. Go ahead and continue on your lesson in Google Classroom.